Hello, world on Twist, and welcome back to Raw Recap and Review. This is the April 27th, 2026 episode in Laredo, Texas, and this is part two. So you know what I mean. If you ain't seen part one, man, just click up there, man. I'm not gonna be mad today. I'm feeling good today, so pop up there. I don't know why they want to play with me, just saying, but pop up there, because we left off with the Usos being interviewed, but now we're going on to wave your hands from side to side and sing. I believe in Joe Hendry. That's the Booker T version. That's the Booker T version. But we have Joe Hendry, who is here doing a live concert for the people. He says he said you say his name and he'll appear. I just said his name, but he ain't behind me. Surprisingly, maybe outside. Maybe outside. I gotta let him in. I won't. I won't today. But he's doing the sing. He's saying what he wants to say. He's singing a song about it. He says he needs to make his decision, and it's time to pick one brand, and he chooses Raw. Joe Hendry is on Raw. Michael Cole up there singing along with it, killing me. He says he gives respect to the ruler, Obafemi, and he acknowledges the OTC. But he asks Adam Pearce, can they please fire Logan Paul? He said, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, please fire Logan Paul. The whole crowd singing that. And then you hear, Ayo! That leads to the vision popping out. Logan Paul is going insane. He says, fire me, I'm unfireable. He says, who are you, Joe Hendry? I'm Logan Paul. He says, and then he just starts telling all the people they're awful, just like the song he's singing. And he says, Joe, today's your first Raw, but it's gonna be your last. Theory then gets the mic, says, I don't know if you know this, Joe, but me and Logan are the greatest tag champions in the world of all time, and that we're real winners. But Joe Hendry said, I saw ESPN, I saw it. I was like, in my opinion, y'all losers. He asked crowd, y'all think they winners? I think they all prime time losers. Austin Theory said something goofy. He said, you know what? Now, he said, we've been knocking at everybody, and now we're finna go through your ass. But Joe ain't having it. Punch back. They fighting back and forth, but then they jump. They get the advantage. It's 2-on-1, man. They get the advantage. But then the Street Profits pop out to help Joe. They get into the ring. They whooping the Vision. They land a big double team move on Austin Theory. They get Montez on top rope and do the frog splash, but Logan pulled Theory away. The Street Profits staring them down. But then they get in the ring and start waving their hands from side to side. They start getting right with Joe Hendry. And then after that segment, Joe's like, man, thanks, man, for your helping, man. He said, we got you, man, but you got to change that shirt. You can't be wearing that blue shirt. You on Raw, baby. And then the Street Profits are walking, and then Seth comes out backstage with them. He's like, I just want to say, he said, man, everything ain't about you, man. I'm here for them belts. Acting like he's special. I was like, bro, that was funny. And then Seth was like, I guess not. Then we get another backstage segment with Grayson Waller trying to talk to Adam Pearce about saying he's giving everyone here opportunities, but he ain't giving him no opportunities. He's like, like Oba Femi and them overrated. But the thing is, right, he's like, Oba. He's like, yeah, Oba overrated. He's like, no, Oba. And then he turns around, Oba Femi right behind. He says, oh, you talking about me? You talking bad? He said, you know what? You want an opportunity? You want the opportunity? He tell Pierce, I want to fight them tonight. So later on tonight, we get Obafemi versus Grace Waller. But up next, the third match of the night, we get Rey Mysterio, the GOAT, the legend, versus El Grande Americano. They start the match off with a tie-up, and then having a bunch of lucha chain wrestling where a bunch of flips over, leads into a headlock by El Grande. Rey Mysterio even tries to roll out of that, but he flips around anyway, holds on to the headlock. Then they have a pinning segment where El Grande has his hands on top of Rey, and Rey has to put his shoulder up, back and forth. He didn't even get on top of Rey while he's doing that, and like Rey got some cold core strength to be that. Oh, Unc, my fault, Unc. I'm sorry, Unc. But he gets out of that, but he pulls him up, rolls him up, into Rey turning that into a sunset flip powerbomb on him. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from El Grande, but that leads to a stalemate between them. Aura forming. Then that goes on to them shaking hands, but Rey a little dirty with it, kick him in the gut, tries to do something on him, but then Grande hits him with another kick to the gut, which then leads to Rey then taking him down, but then El Grande hitting him with a big shoulder tackle off the whip. Then Rey gets the advantage, so he lands the total whirl throw into the rope. That leads to Rey then trying to go for the 619, but as he's going for the 619, boom! Boom! Big kick from El Grande, and that's how we get to the commercial break. We get back from the commercial break with Rey actually Irish whipping El Grande and then hitting him with a back body drop. I've never seen Rey Mysterio lift somebody up in the air. That was cool to see. And then Irish whips him to the corner again, but then this time El Grande fights back by hitting him with a slap. Then he tries to Irish whip him, and then Rey hits him with a kick to the gut when he jumps over him. Then that leads to another El Grande slap. He loves slapping people, but then Rey tries to do a moonsault from the middle rope on the Grande, but he gets caught by Grande. Grande runs around with him, but Rey turns that into a flip around DDT. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, no tres for El Grande because he kicks out. But then Rey kicks El Grande to the ropes, tries to go for the 619 again, but Bravo on the outside pulls down Rey's leg. That leads to Rayo, then giving over to go to El Grande and give him the metal plate. But then as he's trying to give him the metal plate, Rey does the 619 onto Rayo, which makes him distracted. Then he tries to go for the springboard on the El Grande. El Grande gets out the way. Then he goes over, tries to pick up the plate again, but the OG El Grande Americano comes up, tries to stop him. Rey ends up punching him down. Then he lands the Hurricanrana on the El Grande, goes for the 619. Boom! Jumps over the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Big dub for Rey Mysterio, the GOAT. Gets the dub on him. But then, so overall, I give that match a good 3.5 stars. You know, very entertaining match. Good lucha act. It just wasn't saying forward to me though. But it's crazy to see Rey like act like Father Time don't exist, man. Shout out Rey, man. But then after that match, we get the El Grandes and get into a big brawl, and the ref and the producers go to stop them. Next up, we get then to our fourth match of the night. We get Grayson Waller about to get killed by Femi. Grayson doesn't get an entrance, but Oba does. Gets to the ring. Grayson Waller, he's like pump faking at first when the match starts. Tries to land him with a kick. It's over. Boom! Big clothesline by Oba. Then he grabs him, throws him into the corner, punching that man. Irish whip into the other corner, hitting with multiple uppercuts. But then Grayson falls down mid uppercut, goes to the outside. That leads to Oba trying to find him. He tries to grab him, but Grayson pulls the rope down on the Oba. That gets Oba to get back. Grayson tries to go for the roll through onto him, but he gets caught midway. Throwback suplex by Oba Femi. Hit that man with an uppercut again. Hit that man for the fall from grace. Pop a powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Oba. I give this match a 4-star squash. This is a different scale. Like, this is a squash match, so I'm giving it a 4-star squash. Regular match, this is probably like a 2. Regular match is a 2, gang. Like, you're not giving me nothing. But squash match scale is a 4. And then Oba gets to the mic. He says, you know, Grayson was talking a lot about opportunities and everything. You know, a lot of the champs is locked in right now, so I'm going to have my own challenge. We're going to have the Oba Femi challenge. Any man out there bold enough to want to fight me, we can run the fade. So, every week, Oba going to kill somebody. We're gonna have the chance saying Oba's gonna kill you pretty soon, I bet, man. We get to our next segment with Liv Morgan trying to talk to Roxanne because, you know, the other week she got slammed to a TV by Stephanie Vaquer, and she says, you know, she tells Roxanne that she's sorry about the way things happened with Finn. You know, she was watching from home. She wasn't there like to see it. You know, she says, you know, that Finn did bring her into the Judgment Day. You know, but and she tells Roxanne that we're a family and that she supports her and that she wants her to do well on this journey to the tag team titles. And then she even asks her, like, do you trust her? And like Roxanne's like, yeah, I trust you, you know. But then she says, you know, it's time to, but Roxanne's like, I need to do something real quick right back. I'll see you in the ring. And then that leads to Finn popping up out of nowhere. She's like, Roxanne's like, no, you're not supposed to be here. He's like, yeah, I know, but you're not supposed to trust them. You can't trust any of them. But Roxanne says, I can't trust them. But leads them to the next match. We get the Bird Huggers. That's not their official name, but that's the name I give them. Lara Valkyria and Bayley versus the Judgment Day. We get Raquel Rodriguez and the hometown girl, Roxanne Perez. This is her hometown. She does not start the match. We get Bayley and Raquel Rodriguez to start the match up, and it gets into a tie-up with Raquel ending up Irish whipping Bayley, but at least the Bayley turning that into a headlock, and at least they go back and forth with the headlock. But then Raquel ends it by picking her up and hitting her with a back suplex. Then she ends up tagging in the hometown girl. The crowd's getting hyped. They like saying, "We want Roxanne. We want Roxanne." Tags in Roxanne. Big stumps on Bayley in the corner. He gets up and then lifts up Roxanne and drags her to her own corner. She tags in Lyra. Lyra hits her with a kick to the stomach, puts her into a headlock, and then flips her down. A really cool maneuver. Puts up, bows down, like does a little bow, and then slaps the taste out of Lyra's mouth. And Lyra not having that. She has the weirdest Thesz press situations. Like she like sideways Thesz presses punches onto Roxanne. She gets up Roxanne tries to Irish whips her and then gets hit with a tilt-a-whirl by Roxanne, but she flips out of it, and then they have a little stalemate face off right there. So Lyra then slapping her after that. Then she grabs over to tag in Bayley, hits a backbreaker on the Roxanne, tries to set it up for the elbow drop, but Roxanne gets out of it, punches back, but then she gets hit with a heel kick by Lyra. Then they do the holding segment for Bayley. She does the elbow drop, goes for the pin. 1, 2, out from Roxanne, but that leads to Lyra then gonna do her middle rope kick to Raquel, but Raquel gets out the way and then bits a big clothesline onto her. Bayley gets Roxanne back into the ring, but as Bayley's on the corner, Raquel pulls her down, boom, grabs her, lawn darts her into the ring post, and that's how we get to our commercial break. Start the commercial break off with a hot tag. Lyra gets in the ring, big crossbody on her Roxy, then hits the enziguri on her Raquel into a missile dropkick onto her, and then picks up Roxanne and lands multiple suplexes onto her, goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out from Roxanne. We get a tag from both women, and Raquel hits the big boot onto Bayley, goes for the pin, but Lyra stops the pin. Both women are down, and that leads on to another hot tag. Roxanne gets into the ring, punches Lyra off the off the apron, tries to go for pop rocks on Bayley, but Bayley reverses that into a Bayley to Bayley. 1, 2, get in the ring, Raquel, to stop the pin. She gets that leads to Lyra then trying to go for a crossbody and ends up like Raquel loses her footing and gets they get flipped over to the outside. Bayley ignores all that. Was trying to get a Rose plan in, but Liv Morgan gets on the apron again, tries a distraction. Bayley ain't having that. She go down over there trying to get her, but the hair ends up pulling Bayley's face down into the rope. That leads to Roxanne landing a shining wizard. Then that leads to her handling the pop rocks. 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day get the win. You know, this match was a little shaky in the beginning, you know, but I'm gonna give these women a 4-star match. Shout out to the hometown girl. It must be fire, you know, to like fight in your hometown. You know, you probably got the whole group, the whole family there. So shout out to you, Roxanne. It looks like they're gonna be pushing the Judgment Day for the tag team belts. I don't know. It looks every day it gets closer to the Bird Huggers ending, man. You know, and that's sad. But that's not the main event. That's not the end of the episode, because the end of the episode is always the main event. If it's Roman Reigns talking, we get the tribal chief, Mr. OTC. He pops out Dolo, by the way. He don't got the Usos with him. Into the ring, you know, he says, you know, it's been a long time since I've been in Texas, man. You know, Texas love me. You know what I'm saying? He gets the pipe for the crowd, but he goes, you know, says, he's holding the belt, the World Heavyweight Championship. He says, you know, they made this title to spite me, to take away all my shine. But it never worked, because the title doesn't make the man. The man makes the title. And that he made this belt relevant, which is kind of crazy, because Seth did. I ain't gonna lie, Seth did it. I respect you, my tribal chief, you know, but Seth did it, you know. And that he says now that because he has it, you can respect the title. You can acknowledge the title. And let's see how it go. Laredo, acknowledge me. And then Fatu pop out, man. I love how everyone pops out when he says acknowledge me. It's such fun. It's kind of like counterintuitive, because we're kind of acknowledging him when you do that. But Fatu gets in the ring. Roman speaks first. He says, you know, Fatu, I gave you a week to think about the decision, and hopefully you made the right choice, you know, to unite the family instead of dividing the family. And Fatu says, Roman, I ain't need a week. I ain't need a day. I ain't need no hour. I knew instantly when I told you last week that I need everything from you. When I need that belt, that I didn't stutter. I didn't mess up any words. I know what I wanted. I wanted that belt. He says, you must be stuck in your little bubble, main event bubble, tribal chief bubble or something. Like, you ain't grinding like him. He said for 12 years, he was on a down, doing grinding back and forth on the indies. He says, when y'all was doing the bloodline, I ain't know if I was going to be able to eat the next day. He says, before WWE, you ain't calling me, Roman. Jay ain't calling him. Jimmy ain't calling him. The only person that ever called me was Solo. Solo was the one that put me on here. And Roman like, Solo? He said, Solo couldn't even get a cup of coffee delivered here, man. He said, I be busy. He said, but I ain't never forgot about you. And he says, also, I'm the one that signed off on you being here. Roman be signing off on a lot of people being here, I see. Jacob, you don't deserve to fight for the belt. He said, if I do let you fight me, it would be nepotism. And Jacob's not going for that. Grabs that man's throat. He grabbing that man down. He got the OTC, but the OTC hits him with a mic. But Fatu just laughs at him, grins with it, and then hits him with the tongue and death grip. He's gripping that man's throat. Heads butts him down on the way. Roman can't breathe. And then as he's doing it, he's saying, I'm going to take everything from you, Roman. He pops out the ring. That leads to Roman going, Jacob, you want to fight me? I'll see you at Backlash. And then, but as they go back to the stage where Jacob, he's talking, but not on the mic to the camera, he says, I ain't waiting to Backlash. I'm going to see you on next Monday. And the next show's in Omaha, Nebraska. You see, you pull up to Omaha, Nebraska? He really is full time. Shout out to Omaha, Nebraska. I ain't hating. I'm just saying, like, Nebraska is, like, not number the top. He usually only go to top cities. That's the only why I'm saying that. I'm not saying y'all lame. I'm just saying he only go to top cities usually. So they really full. I mean, he's in Laredo right now. Like, that's not a top city. He really full-time for it. He wasn't lying. That is going to be the end of part 2 of this Raw Recap and Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can get more of these. Also, if you enjoy WWE 2K26 content, I'm going to be posting more of that here on this channel. Backlash is looking like it's going to be really good. We got the Seth versus Braun. We got Asuka and Io. We got Roman versus Fatu. Backlash looking all right, man. I wonder what SmackDown will be putting forward the matches because we ain't got none of their matches in there. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next Raw Recap and Review. I'm out.